If you ask me in 50 years which of the three companies will still be making consoles, I'll say Nintendo.
You think so, eh?
I think Nintendo will never give in a weird way, because I just think they have all that power. They have all that like fucking exclusive property that no one can touch, and
The oldest company.
and they'll always have a leg up in that term. Like, and I honestly don't see any Sony exclusive game that can match up to anything Nintendo has. Like, I'll be honest. Like,
in terms of what?
In terms of like iconic presence. Like, nothing.
That's kind of subjective.
I don't know. I don't think anything Sony has will ever measure up to the legacy of like Zelda, Mario, Pokemon. Even.
Really? Eh?
I just don't see it. I'm talking Sony only. I'm not talking about like Final Fantasy, Metal Gear. I'm not talking about things that appeared in PlayStation. I'm talking about things that PlayStation has made. I don't see it. Like, what's their strongest mascot? Probably God of War.
Yeah.
Right? And personally, I don't know. I just don't see it even living up to, even close to anything Nintendo has.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Nintendo, as long as they have that IP, they are untouchable in the sense of like being forced to switch to PC. It would have to be a decision they make internally for whatever reason. But Microsoft and Sony, I can totally, especially Microsoft, they're already kind of there, but I could totally see them being like, we're not doing consoles anymore, we're going to do, whatever, operating systems. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and that might be sooner than later. I don't think that'll even be 50 years.
No, that might be in 10 years. Who knows?
The thing with Nintendo is that they're just a machine. They are the WWE of video games. There's no question about it. Sony IPs are babies still. They're in their 20s still, you know. Mario's been around for, 40 years now? 50 years almost, right?
40.
Yeah.
It's the 40th anniversary right now.
Yeah, and Sony's 25-year-old Metal Gear, 25-year-old, 30-year-old Resident Evil 2. Like, these games are still babies, right? And these games
But those aren't Sony properties.
No, but what I'm saying is that when you mention the word iconic, that's very subjective. It's hard to say what's a bigger, icon, Metal Gear Solid 5 or Super Mario Brothers 1. You know what I mean?
If you're asking me,
yeah.
If you're throwing in, for example, Resident Evil and Metal Gear, right?
Yeah, you're good.
I would say it lives up to Nintendo IPs, because those are series. I mean, Metal Gear was on NES, like, it has a legacy. Those series have legacies. But then when I think like Sony only, no, I don't think it's there. They got Ratchet and Clank, they got Jak and Daxter, they got Sly Cooper. They have IPs that they've abandoned for years.
Right.
Infamous, abandoned. What else?
Yeah.
The shooter, I forget. Whatever, it was on PS3. Resistance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Abandoned. Nothing they have done. Ape Escape, abandoned. Ape Escape would be the cartoony equivalent to a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Abandoned. They don't stick with anything except, I think God of War and Ratchet and Clank would be the oldest things they have that would still be going on. So I don't think I'm wrong in saying that, like, what they've made, they kind of relied on third parties a lot in the beginning, right? They didn't really care to make anything themselves. They did, but it wasn't pushed. They claim Crash Bandicoot is their mascot, but that's not theirs. You know what I mean? Like, again, that's why I think in my argument, like, Nintendo has the sauce. Like, I look at Nintendo, in my opinion, is the video game company. Sony and Microsoft make video games. Nintendo is the video game company that now are delving into theme parks and movies, but that is just years and years of building up their brand and what they have.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So I think that's why in this fictitious thing where it's like in 50 years who's still around making consoles, I think it's Nintendo, because that's what brought him to the dance, if you want to talk WWE speak. Right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think there's going to be anything in 50 years.
Yeah, you're right. Everything's gone. If you guys like this video, be sure to check out the rest of the channel and consider subscribing. Go even further and subscribe to Podcast Fresh wherever you listen to your podcast for new episodes every week.